Hi everyone. Today's video will introduce Super 16. Today is Canada Day, so I got my best outfit on me. Of course, it's a Hawaiian dress from Kauai. This specific one is from Lihui. I don't know if it's from. I think it is from the Walmart. Okay, so today will be all about Super 16. Technically, the the final uh, ingredient to live a life without infections, without bacterial virus infections, especially. In this case, Super 16 is technically the final, miraculous, simplest yet one of the most efficient, nature's best uh, best known medicine, superfood. So superfoods, again, Einstein once mentioned that a good teacher would help students to think instead of merely introducing the principles, the solutions, the intelligence. A good teacher would not a ticker, not a tick, which is ticking and like a tick. No, not like that. Like a teacher. It is an age. The word continues. So it's very important to be honest with you, to help each other to think how to think. So be thoughtful, honest, or helpful, intelligent, what is necessary, as well as kind. When those informations coming through you, then you think. Now, a good teacher is always a respectful student's best friend. Friend means human in this case, because friendly means humane, or humane means friendly, therefore human means friend, especially friend to friends, friends to humans, humans being humans to humans. Super 16 will help you to actually eliminate these alien nature carriers, just like any others in the superfoods which were mentioned, including the Super 8 and now the final Super 16, individually by itself or also together, combined. You can make a really nice salad with drinks out of Super 8. You will never feel hungry or out of Super 16, and you will never feel after you ate that you will always feel cloy. You wouldn't feel actually like it fills you up. That's what I meant to say. Of course, it is possible to reach a type of environment, a certain environment where you don't get hungry anymore and you don't really eat anymore because everything around you is supporting you so well that you don't need to use much of a physical foods anymore. But again, the human biological system is very adaptable. If you change, if you transform, depends on which ability you are supporting the most. Are you supporting the most? Either your energetic, physical, or psychological abilities in a human right, in an actual human right way, or in actual human right ways. Everything has a way to do it. So from expressing emotions to projecting or representing something, or even non-doings, got their own style, the way it could be delivered humanly. Now you know it's a very powerful superfood. What I'm talking about, right? Because this superfood, depending on how you're using it, will help you to get your neurological system back online. Starting with cleaning your blood, then your cells, then your respiratory organs, well, with it as well. I think starting with the cells, after the nerves. There is a hint: it will not make your breath smell better. So unless if your breath is like really 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 stinky, this will not make your breath smell better. Probably there's a way to utilize this specific superfood, which is, I think, one of the best known European herb, Mediterranean European herb. And when I need to mention this, the reason why is because plagues, like huge pandemics, were healed very early starting with this product. They're utilizing it in many, many, many ways, internally as well as externally, including burning parts of the plant, just to keep humans safe from airborne hostile bacteria. We call bacterial virus, nature's airborne, waterborne, could be really anywhere, right? And then it gets in the ether, gets into energies, gets into frequencies. And then now we're talking about attack against Saint Trinity, energetic, physical, as well as psychological attack against energetic, physical, as well as psychological human right balance we call Saint Trinity. Through also the 4 plus 1. So 4, that's 4, right? I'm just asking you, that's 4, right? Okay, and then that's 5. No, that's 4 plus 1, that's 5. Okay, in element. Now remember, we have 4 plus 1 of these 4 plus 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it follows, the human biological system follows up on this. Okay, G, let's start with letter G. It's a huge hint. The second letter will be A. Together they make up Gaga. Gaga, 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 Gaga. That's the Canadian geese. And then there is a hop, 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 hop. That's a Canadian duck. or ducks and geezers. They pretty much follow up on the same communication, the same language, similarly anyways, very similar. So now we had ga 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 ga, and then they fly in the time being, and they say ga 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 ga. Or sometimes they on the ground and they say ga ga ga. Depends. Some people will call them alkalized dinosaurs. I think I already mentioned that. Most Canadians, anyhow. So welcome to the alkalized human Earth, human planet, starship. The third letter, it will be representing numerologically, will represent number 8. I won't actually so numerologically, right? We represent number 8, the third letter, because Eve will break the alien nature like this. So while like Diotimicious or Coverford, or when it comes to killing, because right now we have to kill aliens, so the human will still alive. That means the diatomaceous earth. When that goes through the human biological system, of course you want to get the best quality, food grade, human, consumable by humans. It's very important. You don't want to get the rough stuff. Now that one goes through the bloodstream, the water household, even energetically follow up on this biochemical reaction. It affects the body like a super sharp samurai sword. I'm not kidding. And then you pee, poo, or sweat out those hostile aliens which kept you jailed, possessed, alienated, hostile against your own kind. I think it's a fair deal. Okay, back to human Earth, back to the Earth, back to the Earth. Here we are. I mean, that's where we were, but I know it was sound like an alien word. Unfortunately, it arrived, and fortunately, we do have the way to remain humans as eternally divine, holy kind together. The last letter is C. The second last letter is I. I see. Because after all this chopping and a couple more letters, I think, then healing, you will see. I see. Oh, finally, I see through my own soul, with my own soul, through my own eyes, or by my own soul, with my own eyes. I think that's the better case. Okay, so all these good holy deeds to sustain human nature, which is the number one purpose for an actual human being, no matter what, you have the right to life. In this case, of course, life means human life, because I think we are alive while most of others are barely existing or trying to be. Now this miracle superfood, we call Super 16. Oh, pink everywhere. Now also got pink like this. It's another type of pink. And even a Moraine Lake, mountain pink, pink. Oh, actually everything, there's pink everywhere. Now pink is a very comfortable color for the human psyche, because Then this area around here, and most of other areas too, when it comes to the muscles, the tissues, the fibers of the human biological system, under joltification, proper joltification. If there is not a word, then there is. We could also say joltification. Okay, so that means energization, proper energization. These are the colors the light will project these colors to your entire physiology. Most of your entire physiology depends on the scale of the spectrums and photons. Okay. So letter G, native people all across the world took this herb, the root of this herb. I think they cut, what is it? I think the top part needs to be cut off. And if, of course, if the bottom part has so much little roots or whatever, if it's too bushy, you want to cut that off too. So then they wrapped it in olive oil. I don't know how they done it in ancient times. Probably they used clay, put in clay, and then you put it in the oven for about 400 Fahrenheit. I don't know what would that be in Celsius. What is it? Divided by 2 minus 18, something like that, the formula. Or something like that. Anyhow, what I'm trying to say is you need to wait until the top part you see becomes golden, literally golden, like if you be caramelized. Then it's ready. Then you take it out. Of course, you don't need to foil wrap the whole thing. You just foil wrap the until like maybe like the 3/4 area of from bottom up. So you want to leave, and you want to have like you want to make it loose. You want to tighten the foil if you're using foil. You always want to use I think, but you need to double check that the side for the inside of the foil which is burned out. If you don't want to go with foils, you can go with a nice ceramic something, or there are also porcelains which are burnt out on the inside at least, and then they will be able to persist the heat and able to help you to. So it needs to be heat reflective, so I would say I would use the shiny part for aluminum foil. Wouldn't use baking sheet because it could catch on fire very easily. It would catch on fire. So Native Americans, Native Europeans, Native Hawaiians, Native Asians, Native Africans, Native Australians, Native Antarcticians, Native Atlanteans. Atlantis is everywhere, of course. It's a land at fire or on fire. At the land, which is Tis, having a fever. So it's everywhere. Or the Antarcticians. I think I mentioned all continents. Of course, there are under ocean continents like Lemuria, between under like South of Asia and next to East Africa, and the Lumeria. Over here, I am in Lumeria now, off the mainland, off from America. But politically, people think it is like, on the surface it is belonging to the USA partially, or Canada, whatever, and all the rest of the countries, of course. Good ideology, not so bad. At least you know you have a home. At least you know what is it called. So what I'm trying to say is garlic. Garlic will get rid of all the I meant to say ancient cultures, because natives are really offsprings, and they mostly already nationalized, which is a good thing to remember that you're belonging to nations. I belong to about 29 or 30 nations as a citizen, including the European nations with the Canadian citizenship. So it's good to have. It's super awesome. We are a huge family in a way, but this huge family is also a part of a bigger family, and that family is also a part of a even bigger family. Now, ancient folks who technically the very root of all humans and human creations, as well as human life supportive things. Forefathers, foremothers, our forefathers, our foremothers, uh, they already created everything for us. Now we need to, just like any other times before when we had a chance to be alive again physically. Now we have a chance again to fulfill our destiny, our human destinies. Let the animals to fulfill theirs, and so on, so on. I would recommend everyone to please do not feed animals with animals, or humans, or aliens. Please do not feed humans with humans, animals, or aliens. Please feed all creations, living creations with destinies and kismets. Keep them naturally safe without infections. Please feed them with the 4 main elements as well as the human nature friendly products of it. We call them plants. On the human planet, we make plans to plan at on the human planet. How about that? Could be a good song. It had some. You can do it together. Okay, happy summer for everyone. It's garlic. Hopefully you already figured it out. Garlic forever. And then when I talk about garlic, I need to mention paprikas. I need to mention that we will continue together as long as you let me to. Then together we will continue to Super 24 for humankind to finally be well at home.